and things can be done premature at times, you know. You have no one to hold back sometimes.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Christoph with 2 H's, and we are here yet again for another episode of Kaption That. And just breaking the usual a little bit. This week, I have the incredibly talented and creative Terrance, the artist.
Oh my God.
You understand?
Hi.
On set with us. Or today, are you showing?
No, Terrance is fine.
Terrance is fine. All right. So today we have Terrance, the artist, with us, right? And we're gonna get to know him because you don't know yet, but he, as I mentioned, is a creative genius, and children should be reading the stuff that he is putting out there. You understand? Instead of all of this foolishness with Facebook and TikTok, come off of that foolishness. Read a book. Read his book. Right? But before we get into that, do us all a favor and introduce yourself as yourself to the masses and let them know who you are.
Hi everybody, my name is Terrance, the artist. I am a local author, children's author, and an illustrator. I created the Adventures of Jada book series, which I'm very happy to be doing. It targets, kids that grew up just like myself who didn't necessarily have much access to, extravagant stories, I guess, and bigger books and bigger adventures. A lot of times you find kids that really limited to what is given in schools. So I kind of wanted to take the same knowledge and make something a little more expansive, a little more fun. And also representation is something that is really important to me. Mm-hmm. So, the characters really represent our West Indian roots. So yeah. Okay.
Characters really represent our West Indian roots. And it's because you would have had any particular experience that would have solidified your decision to actually do it?
Well, think about growing up and what we would see on TV. Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily characters that looked like us or, kind of shared our experiences. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of jarring to me as an adult, that we have bits and pieces here and there of characters, but we don't have like a whole package, like people that look like us that share similar experiences to what we see on TV. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the decision. Okay,
what experience in particular that would be different from what you have in your book that we can expect in something a little more typical or standard that exists?
Well, for instance, my second book is all about the common cold, but the common cold is, interpreted as a monster. Which is meant to be more fun for kids. Mm-hmm. And Jada goes on this adventure trying to figure out what would, get rid of this monster. Mm-hmm. And, the answer is vitamin C. So it's just a different way of kind of giving them the information without being...
But that's like genius, so the fact that you would think that, okay, to a child, the coal is like a monster, and the way of fixing that is taking vitamin C, especially for children who it is do like taking medicine and you have to force it on their children. It's a different way of illustrating that. Yeah. Your other books, what would it feature?
So the third one is about bullying in schools, and which is funny because that dropped as soon as COVID hit, so no schools. But that's something that's also, I think, something that's not really talked about a lot, because people kind of pass it off as, oh, that happens, that's just a thing. But I spoke with the Anti-Bullying Society actually, and they had really good tips, and they inspired the creation of the book and how to deal with bullying. So that's another one as well. And the first one was about gluten and children not really understanding what gluten is. That one is a little more, advanced than I thought it
You
would
are
be.
saying it's advanced, and I think it's current and needed, because I'm thinking, okay, especially now where it is everybody is home quarantining, homeschooling, you have obesity rates on a high. And I think obesity rates on a high period, you understand, regardless of adults and children. But we all know children appetite You know, every couple hours they need something to eat. It's like you're never satisfied. So I'd want to think the whole idea of gluten-free and managing diets and what it is you eat is current and necessary in addition to fighting cool and bullying. I think that's very, very smart, a very smart way of bringing current issues to children. What the other question I would have for you, what would be your strategy to get them to actually read the book? Right. Because, you know, some children, like even as an adult in the profession that I'm in, I have found that even adults have literacy issues, right? To fill out basic forms, they don't even know how to do that properly. So far less than being able to help a child with homework or help a child read. Like, you know, have you considered those options, like doing it in an audio version that, you know, you could attend to those needs?
Well, it's actually funny that you asked that, because at the beginning of COVID, I was kind of forced to do a lot of virtual readings, which kind of opened my mind to the possibility of, you know, making the books virtual. So I actually did a lot of like animations, which I think would hold the attention of the kids. Right. And apart from that, the fact that they see characters that look exactly like them, I think would be attention grabbing enough as well.
I agree. I'm inclined to agree with that husband. All right. So what else can we look forward to? Is Jada having any more adventures? Maybe I should also ask you why you came up with Jada in the first place. Like, is that particular name, you know, attributed to anybody special?
Well, she would love to hear this, but my cousin / baby sister's name is Jada. And I created Jada back in 2012, literally as a little sketch in a notepad, and she was the inspiration behind it. Don't get too excited.
Chilling take.
And yeah, Jada has a lot of adventures to come. I have like drafted a bunch of stories, and I'm actually working right now on a show called Road to Jada, which will take us behind the scenes and kind of show like the process from illustrations and sketches to the actual manufacturing of the books.
Okay. So, yeah, and I think that would show like diversity in the creative sector, you know, because like, you know, a lot of times people think, you know, I want to write a book. You know, everybody now has a need to.
But they can. Yeah. It's so much easier than people think as well, because you don't necessarily have to go to like a big old publishing house anymore. You could do it on your own, as long as it's literally a business. You could outsource the different aspects of creating a book and just make a book.
So is that something that you would encourage?
Of course. I think we have so many stories, especially, you know, regionally, like a lot of our stories aren't like out there like that. We all know stories of our neighbors and your grannies and your great grands, but like nobody's actually creating content that kids could like go to, you know, for decades to come. So I encourage it. I think it should be done, and it's such a fun thing as well.
Nice, and I think so. Is there anybody that you'd like to collaborate with in the future?
I honestly haven't thought about that per se. I'd love to get together with, you know, somebody. There's a page on Instagram where there's a lot of like archives. He posts a lot of old clips of Trinidad and stuff like that. I would love to work with somebody like that could really share and like show me the stuff that I don't necessarily see or know. So something that really kind of shows the beauty of Trinidad a little more. I would love to collaborate with somebody that could bring that.
No problem. I would want you to, is there anything right now outside of the bullying and let's say, you know, greed or gluten-free or the common cool that you think is trending that would be a nice angle to approach in future products?
I think last year I was allowed to go on my first tour with Nalis, which was life-changing. And all the kids were really great and special and amazing. But I think one thing that parents really kind of spoke about was self-confidence and working on ways where kids could, you know, be affirmed and be taught that it's fine to want different things, and it's fine to be outspoken, it's okay to be bold.
Self-assurance.
Yeah, so, stuff like that, I think, is what I would really like to look into next.
And if you had a sibling right now who has had those issues, how would you help them face that and address that and deal that? Because I'm positive that for the one or two parents who is probably watching the episode, or older siblings, they're probably wondering, well, right now they're home, they're bored, and yet they still feel alone and not accepted and wanted. How do we as older persons attempt to do that? Because I have a little sister, right, and she be provoking me. It gets on my nerves, but at the same time I am understanding that she is just attempting to find her place. You understand? And the reality is, as you would have mentioned before, our society, even with these stories, don't always say how to do that. People have a tendency to just make it seem like you can, you're poor today and you're rich tomorrow, and they leave out the in-between parts of how you get, how to get from one place to another. So what would be your advice in being better at being a role model or helping a younger person come out of that funk?
Well, I can speak from my experience. My parents, in particular, are very, I don't know how to express it, but they I don't want to say open, because that's a pretty open word, but they had the understanding that you need to be given space, because a lot of times people want to tell you what you should do.
Correct.
And how you should be, and the career path you should take. I think it's more so for us to listen to children. And even if it seems crazy, like a filmmaker, what are the avenues to get you there? You know what I mean? It's more so understanding what it is and finding a solution to get there.
Correct.
And in terms of confidence, I think just try. Because my grandmother used to say, why not you? Just try it, see what will happen. And it may not always work out, but you have another time and you don't really have anything to lose. And that might sound cliche, but it's true.
True, and I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but I think Jim Carrey was the one who just had the quote, I think, where basically was like his dad was telling him, the time that you're taking now to procrastinate about it and you decide not to do it, at the end of that period, you're going to be in a position wondering, wow, I should have done this. And instead of it being that you come to the end of the time saying, oh, if I did do, just do. And by the time is done, you would have done enough to push yourself.
And that's another thing too. A lot of people feel as if you appear one day and you're on a talk show, and they feel like it just happened. Like somebody just gave it to you. I don't sleep. I literally do not sleep. You have to illustrate books. You have to write the books. You have to get it checked. You have to hire people to do this and that. And it's like, people don't understand that all of that happens. They just feel like the nice picture on Instagram is your whole life. And that's not the case.
Correct.
So yeah.
I think you just touched on something very special, important to me. When it is you mentioned, just going back to how your parents about, and you're saying open is too broad, but I think what they are is aware.
Right.
And I think that is what should be more encouraged as a society. Self-awareness, not only for yourself, but of your surroundings and who it is involved with and who you are imparting to, because I can't support you in an area if I don't know that that's what you're interested in. And sometimes children, even adults, don't know how to articulate that. So you're going to have a keen eye for spotting what the person is good at and then challenging them in that area, or channeling opportunities for them to figure out, okay, well, you try this, and then they would realize, okay, I tried it, this is probably not it, let me go back to the drawing board. So people do that, you understand? We need to be more present, not only physically but engaged mentally,
Caption that.
So tell us, what is the Road to Jada?
Okay, so Road to Jada came about via my little brother, who is a budding filmmaker. KN Films. So basically, when COVID had just happened, I was at home. I couldn't go on my second tour with Nalis, unfortunately, and I was kind of forced into doing a lot of virtual readings and meetings and stuff like that. So he began to film behind the scenes and a lot of bloopers and stuff, and it was actually kind of fun. And also there's a lot of information there as to how to navigate the virtual world. So people will be learning as I learn, experiencing things as I experience them. So I don't want to call it a reality show. It's more so just a big behind the scenes that GT Network is allowing me to do.
Nice.
So
Big up GT Network.
Whoop, whoop. So yeah, that's what it is. Really just a look behind the scenes of how we promote, create, and just, handle the adventures of Jada.
Good. So that is the behind the scenes aspect. I think I would want to know is, are you all interested in making the first 3 installments of the book more of a movie or TV series? If
that would be amazing. And I've spoken to 2 people about that, but I just think I want it to be done right. And I don't necessarily have the access yet to create it the way I think
that it deserves to be true, and things can be done premature at times. You have no one to hold back sometimes.
Okay.
So talk to us about merch. Where can we get the merch? Well,
okay, so what was I gonna say? Anyway, so merch will be available soon. It will be closer to the release of Road to Jada, which is in like a month or 2. I don't have a definite date yet. So you can follow us at Adventures of Jada on Instagram to find out. We have hoodies like this with this cool selfie print, t-shirts for kids, even masks, So yeah, I'm excited about that. It was a really fun shoot. I had all the kids at the studio. We were safe though, COVID, but it was really fun. And I was told by one of the parents that the daughter played for 3 days in that t-shirt.
Wow.
So I'm very happy.
That is both sweet and scary at the same time. So if it is we want access to the merch, you just need to follow you on your handles on IG?
Yeah, and you'll get all the information there. You'll be able to make the orders via my website. All the links are on the page, and even through Kirby Young Designs, because he is handling.
Just remind us what the websites are again and the links.
So Adventures of Jada on Instagram, terrancetheartist.com. You could also follow Kirby Young Designs on Instagram as well, because he'll have information.
Not a problem. All right, so this week's question is, you're at someone's house and your stomach starts hurting, so you have to use their toilet. You relieve yourself, but it won't flush. How do you handle that awkward scenario?
You have a bucket in your bathroom. First of all, that wouldn't happen, because not in somebody's home. But like if you have a bucket, like I'll fill the bucket on.
And
I'll lift the tank.
You see,
the tank cover and pull the lever.
Which you pull it. Listen, the first thing that I always do when I go in a place, I do an assessment. I not even go and lie about it. I do an assessment. Is this a good place to relieve yourself? I check for toilet paper. I check if it's enough toilet paper. I check to see if it have water. Yeah, because sometimes there don't be enough toilet paper. No, because you just need to wipe the seat first.
Yeah.
You understand?
And then cover it.
Ain't nobody trying to get your crabs, right? So, you need to make sure you have enough toilet paper. I need to make sure that, I'm not hearing the thing singing like if it's filling and it's not actually filling, that kind of, that the water does do a kind of the tank, the thing does do like, when you flush the toilet, you just hear when it's filling back. In some people's place, it is be making that noise right through and you don't know if it's really filling. You understand? Or if it is just making a noise.
Why are you even in that place?
You understand? So I check for that. I check to see if it is you have running water. I check to see if it has spray. I check to see if it is you had the little thing with the squiggly thing to wipe. Because sometimes ain't nobody trying to leave like no evidence.
So what you done check all of that? You still have time to do what you do?
No, I am saying I've gone front, I just suffer myself. If it is I go and I realize that it's missing important things, I will not, I can't use the bathroom. I can't. We need to abort mission and find somewhere else.
Okay, Inspector Gadget.
Yes, unless I'm real comfortable with you, and then I'll probably be like, Terrance, you can bring a bucket. I need to like flush. Ain't nobody got no time with that.
No.
So you're not doing that? You just looking?
I'm not in somebody's house. It's not even reaching there.
And
if I even feel funny, I am gone. No.
Abort mission. All right then. So, would you say that cartoons would have had a part to play in your decision?
Oh, of course.
To do the book, yes.
Of course, yeah.
And do you think that they have impacted you as an adult still?
Yeah, of course.
Because I think it has impacted me as an adult still. And rumor has it that you're also a very big fan of Disney Channel.
I don't know where that rumor came from. May or may not know a few films.
But in light of the impact that cartoons on a whole would have had on you, we came up with a game of our own version of a versus battle.
Okay.
Right? Where it says I would give you 2 cartoons from the either late 80s or early 90s, whether it come from Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon or Disney Channel, and you tell me which one is your preference and why. Which one is the winner for you and why. And I might ask you if it is a theme song, sing the theme song, whatever, how that would work. You're good?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, there we go.
All right then. So your first one is Totally Spies versus Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls.
Why?
Easy. I mean, could Totally Spies take the Powerpuff Girls? No.
Which one is your favorite Powerpuff? You can say Powerpuff.
Buttercup?
That's what I'm talking about, but that's my favorite one too. I think like I just hit the mic real hard. Sorry, audience, for like that happening. Right? Second one, Lizzie McGuire or That's a Raven?
That's a question. That's a Raven.
Scooby-Doo or Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Why not Scooby-Doo?
Are you kidding? No, that show was weird, but real cool though.
Yeah.
You have to admit.
Eustace used to make me laugh. he was fun. Codename Kids Next Door or Teen Titans?
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Cow and Chicken or Tom and Jerry?
Cow and Chicken.
Tom and Jerry. We not having that. Cow and Chicken versus Tom and Jerry. We never even see what Cow and Chicken parents look like.
And that's amazing though. A whole show. And they can't see the parents. Come on.
All right, Dexter's Laboratory versus Jimmy Ultron.
Dexter's Laboratory. Come on, Dexter's Laboratory.
Okay, fine. Only because Didi was a pest. Johnny Bravo versus Ed, and Eddie.
Ooh. Ed, and Eddie.
Which one? Which Ed?
Ed?
I like the one with the black thing on your head.
Double D.
Double D? Yes, Double D was vibes. He-Man or Captain Planet?
I didn't watch either of those.
You never see Captain Planet? He's a hero. Take it back to zero. With his Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart, Go Planet. Like you never watch. People do not stone him. He is going to correct that after today. Oh my
But
God.
I think that was a bit before me too. Because when I...
So what you're trying to say? I understand what you're trying to say.
No, not like far behind, but like, you know.
Hey Arnold versus Doug.
Hey Arnold.
Okay. I'm particularly biased to Hey Arnold because, like, I like Doug, but Arnold's one of my names. Yeah.
That's why I chose it too.
Now I'm talking about pen goals. Freakazoid versus Rocco's Modern's Life.
Freakazoid.
Yeah, Freakazoid was vibes.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck.
Daffy Duck was funnier.
Yeah.
You understand? But I liked that the fact that Bugs Bunny was witty.
Yeah.
You understand? I like that he was witty and he, like, you know, everything, you know, he lied on any pot, like if it is, you know, he's supposed to be like being cooked for food, and it's because he eating a carrot, he drink any water, he helping he season the food to bring you in the pot.
But Daffy had all the personality.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Black again. Gargoyles or Angry Beavers?
Here's the thing. For a while, I thought I dreamt gargoyles. No, for real. You ever like, no, seriously, you ever like know a show, like you know it, but like you haven't seen any evidence of it? I thought I imagined that show.
I don't understand what is happening.
No, seriously. No, that never happened to you? That never happened to you?
I am here. Look, okay.
No, seriously, I thought I dreamt that. But from what I could recall, it was cool.
For me, I have nightmares about it initially because when I usually pass in front of like churches and you see the statue, I automatically look up and I think, even though I'm an adult.
That
like,
would get up?
No, like I look at it and you wonder like...
Do they get...
Like,
yeah,
like, you don't worry about stuff like that. Like, we ain't gonna pretend like, you know, we don't have powers beyond us in this world. You understand? So for all I know, that thing that looking like a sequoia flying in the night is probably a gargoyle.
All right.
Listen, you dream things. I just like have a very elaborate imagination sometimes.
Wow.
Rugrats or Animaniacs, inclusive of Pinky and the Brain?
Animaniacs.
Okay.
Wow, I forgot that show, you know.
Dragon Ball Z versus Sailor Moon.
Dragon Ball Z.
Pokemon versus Digimon.
Okay, wait. So, I can't choose.
Why you can't?
Because Pokemon came out when I was in like first year, and I'll never forget because the first friend I made was over Pokemon. Because I used to draw
Pikachu?
Psyduck. Is it
Psyduck? Yes, the kind of orange one, the kind of yellow or orange duck with the kind of the big beak.
Yeah, that does this.
Yeah.
Has it? Okay. Somebody.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
I don't have a favorite Pokemon.
Serious?
But the show is cool. But Digimon came after.
I was
off of Pokemon.
I was bad on Digimon. I love Digimon. But my favorite Pokemon is Jigglypuff. Hands down, period. Jigglypuff. Yeah, and I used to love her too. She used to get upset and then go and draw on your face, like, you know.
Right, when you fall asleep, yeah.
Yeah. And I used to like, what's the kind of big panda, the big kind of panda? Snorlax or some kind of thing like that, yeah. And your last question is more about franchise, right?
Don't do DC or Marvel.
No, I'm not gonna say it as DC and Marvel. I'm gonna say it as Justice League versus X-Men.
No, cut this show. No, I love the two. Can't pick.
Okay.
But the old X-Men though. The
long time X-Men was vibes. But if it is, I throw Avengers in that mix. Justice League, Avengers, X-Men.
I still can't pick.
You still can't pick? Okay.
Really, I can't pick.
I equally like Justice League as much as I like X-Men.
They're going to kill you.
I mean the X-Men are the X-Men. Mm-hmm. Like it had to pick.
Don't do
right?
it.
But I like Justice League.
Don't do it.
Okay. I like the DC franchise for TV series.
Okay.
But I like Marvel franchise for movies. Right? So Marvel doing X-Men, Marvel doing Avengers, Marvel doing that. I think they do a bomb job at movies. I don't think DC does a good job at movies. I don't think they do them justice.
No. The Snyder Cut was amazing.
No, the Snyder Cut was amazing, but I'm
Man
talking...
of Steel was amazing too. Man of Steel was amazing.
I never watch it. I never watch it. Because I
You didn't watch Man of Steel?
I find there was a disconnect for me. It was not happening. It was not happening. So for me, I like DC TV series like Arrow, Flash, you know, Spuggle. I think they do a better job in series.
No.
Serious? Wow. We need to have a talk about this friendship after, right? So people, we have reached the end of another episode of Kaption That with Terrance the artist. You can look out for more information on the road to Jada on the handles, as he would have stated, Adventures of Jada, TerranceTheArtist.com, and Kirby Young Designs. We'd also like to give a special shout out this week to Indra's Catering, located in Tagarigua. They hooking us up today with some bomb curry. Thank you very much. Also DJ Combs Productions, Raw, TT in West Mall, and the House of Palmer for giving us a lovely place to record Kaption That. Until next time, peace out, and
I am Captain Planet.